Hey guys, let's continue with part 3 of building this patio koi pond where I'm going to put an insulation and a liner. Hey guys, thanks for visiting my channel. If you're a subscriber, welcome back. If you're new, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like button, share button, whatever button you can push, just hit it. We're continuing with part 3 of building this patio koi pond. Where we left off was I had the box framed out. I put in the plywood on the inside wall, and what I've got to do now is get the insulation in. Where I'm at in Florida, we don't really need insulation, but I just decided to put it in as we do have a few cold weeks during the winter time. So figured, you know what, why not put the liner in, the insulation in, because it will protect the liner. So I purchased enough insulation to not have wastage. So I'm gonna make sure I cut precisely to fit the walls. So I cut for the side walls, and you can see the two long portion are the straight cut. It fits perfectly inside, just a little bit to trim off because of the plywood that took up the space. So once I've got my insulation cut out, let me go ahead and just get this interior cleaned up as it's been sitting down for a while. So I empty all the garbage that was sitting in there, pull the vacuum, get the broom, sweeping it out, vacuuming up all the dust. I don't want that dust just sitting in there and just having a dirty pond itself, just sitting there. So now I'm gonna get some reinforcement going for some screws that I didn't put in the first place. So I'm gonna finishing up these walls, getting them in, and then move ahead with the liner. Now that I've got all my screws in place, what I'm gonna do is try to fit these insulation in. Here you can see it was a little bit too tight, so I gotta trim a piece off. Once I get that little piece trimmed off, I'm gonna go fit it again, and once that's in, I'm gonna get the other side in. So let's get this foam board in and move forward. As you see, the other side fits perfect. Any trimming that has to be done, I'm trimming off the top, the bottom, because some minor trimming needs to be done, just to get a level to the top edge. So let me get this in and then put the sides in. Here you see what I'm doing here is I'm working on the sides of the tank, and this is a basically a cut to fit. So I didn't pre-cut these sides yet, because once the two sides go in, these sides are going to become shorter. So I'm going to cut to fit based on the inside width of the tank. So what I'm doing here now is putting two pieces together. Remember earlier in the video I said I'm going to avoid wastage, so I have some foil tape, so I'm joining these two pieces together so they can hold in place. Now I'm going to measure the other side and work on the other side, because you could be off by, you know, a quarter inch, an eighth of an inch, and I'm trying to get as tight as fit as I can. Now that I've got this the side foam board in place, I'm going to go ahead and put everything in place, and I'm going to put a piece of tape on the center of each sides going down, and then I'm going to get the last sheet of foam board. I'm going to measure it out, and once I measure it out, I'm cutting out for the base so it could drop flat down on the base itself, So I'm going to get my measurement and measure out the base and get this cut out so it will drop right in. So let me get this done and we can see how it looks. I also did a final cleaning to the bottom because I was walking around in there and I was cutting the foam board. So there's pieces of foams and droppings in there. So I wanted to vacuum that and get that all cleaned out. Now you can see that this tank is starting to take shape and it's starting to look more of a tank. I'm going to start getting this liner put in, and believe me, this liner is heavy. It's heavy and it's a little bit difficult for one person to work with. So I'm going to try to work this liner in and get it set up and folded the way it needs to be folded to avoid too many creases. And because this liner is very bulky, it is really difficult to work with. You really need two-person to work with it, otherwise it's not going to work for you. So you would have to have two-person to work this liner. Here you can see I'm trying to get it situated. I've got one side because it's a little bit extra long and it's a little bit extra wide, so I'm trying to minimize the cutting to cut only two sides, the length and one width. So I'm trying to fold it to get my folding correctly, that way I can cut it the way it should be cut. So let me try to get this laid out and see how it's best possible to get this done. Now this is a Firestone 15 by 15 liner, 45 mil EPDM pond liner, and it cost me with the total. It cost me before tax was like 174 or something like that. Um, I don't know how much it's gonna go for currently, but it was free shipping, and I picked it up on Amazon. Now I did a pond liner calculation online and it was calling for a bigger liner. But based on my measurement of the walls and the bottom of the pool, this would have been a perfect fit with just a little bit extra um, on on the long side and a little bit extra on the wide side. So the pond calculation is probably giving you extra because some people mess up when they cut. I'm not sure, but I went with a smaller one based on what I thought it would be, and it worked out beautiful because I didn't have to invest the extra, you know, $100 or whatever it was to get that bigger liner, because this fits perfect with the extra. And this is a 15 by 15 Firestone 45 mil EPDM liner. As you can see, I tried numerous folds to get this liner set up correctly, and there's one specific way to fold it. And when you fold it, the seam, instead of being on the side and the inside, it's gonna be vertical on each corner, the left, right, top and bottom, because you fold it behind the liner. But because I'm trying to do this by myself, it's making it very difficult to fold the liner itself. So I'm having a rough time folding this liner, so I'll have to recruit some help to get this done. When you're looking at this, you may think or look at it and thinking it's a perfect fold, but look at the far end. You'll see that you have that upside down A that's in the front. That that fold is inside the pond, and I'm trying to get that fold to be outside the pond, so there's a vertical line going on each edge. So as I'm trying to work this and try to get it done, I'm not accomplishing what I needed to. So let me try to see if I can get some help. So I made a few phone calls and I've got backup coming in. So I've got my brother's gonna come in and help me fold this liner because he kind of finished his pond before I did. So he kind of know how the fold needs to be. So while I'm waiting on him to get in, I'm gonna cut the sides out. So I'm taking my measurement to cut the sides out that goes on the outside wall to cover that. So measuring it and getting it cut out and waiting to get that liner in. Once it's in place and stapled down, I will be able to start putting up sidewalls. So just follow me along on the next video to finish up this pond with the liner and the sidewalls, and we can move forward with the filter. As you can see here, what I did was I screwed a piece of 1x2 strip straight down the edge. That way when I run my blade, I get a straight cut on that plywood versus trying to freehand a line. And it's a good idea. I'm not sure if I mentioned it on the first video when I did my first cut of the inside walls, but I'll mention it here again. Anyway, catch me in the next video as we try to get this pond finished up and move forward with filter building. Like, share, and subscribe for future video. Thanks.